G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Survival Let's Play series. My name is Guy Tries and this is episode 9. You see right there is what we've made in episode 8, a nice little barn, a nice little stable for the horses that you can see over there, just kicking back, enjoying their day. Now, for those who have seen that episode, thank you very much for the likes, the comments, and also for those who have subscribed, thank you very much. In today's episode, we're going to be doing something quite similar in the sense that we're going to be making a practical build. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and show you what we're actually going to do, okay? Let's go. So, in today's episode and also across other episodes coming, we're going to start cleaning this place up. As you can see, it's not very sightly. This was great for the very start of this Minecraft survival Let's Play, but I think it's now run its course. We are going to start upgrading these things, all these farms, making them better and also making them nice permanent homes. And we're going to start with this guy over here. This is our Bonemeal machine, and this has been running, I kid you not, non-stop since we have built it. It doesn't really break. Seriously. I log off and on and this thing runs perfectly. Some machines that you build, they just, as soon as you log out, they just break. But not this one. This one is nice and sturdy, but we're going to be upgrading this one. It does produce quite a bit, but not as quickly as I would hope. But as you can see, we have been collecting quite a lot of bones and bone blocks. So that is quite good for now. But we're going to be upgrading this guy over here. And we're going to give it a nice permanent home. And I think looking around here, we're going to maybe put it right here where this tree farm is and where my custom tree stripping and I guess concrete making machine is. But of course, it means that we have to tear all this down and then we'll make some nice permanent homes for these ones as well in the incoming episodes. But that is a problem for later because right now I need to go ahead and I need to find some beehives, some bee hives so we can get some bees and also some honeycomb because I'll be needing it in today's build. But that will be probably the most gathering that we'll do today. Other materials I do already have, and today is going to be such a big build that I don't want to spend too much time lingering on gathering things. In fact, just going to be building, and we're going to have a look at all the details and also the sections that we build because it's going to be nice big sections. And I'm sure by the time you click on this video, you already know what I'm making just based off the thumbnail. But that being said, let's go ahead and let's get started with today. So let's go ahead and let's go to our barn. I figured since we've made this nice little thing and we have our horses in there, we should definitely go ahead and try to use it. So let's get our horse and let's go for a little ride and let's try to find some beehives, as many as we can, and then we'll make one of those honeycomb, honey block bee machines. But who shall we pick from today? I think this guy is the fastest, right? Yeah, he's the fastest. We'll take him out. Ouch. Okay. Now, I do remember seeing some beehives somewhere down that way where all the birch and oak trees are. So let's go ahead, head down that way and see if we can find some. Hopefully we can find at least 8. That would be the best. And that would be probably the max that we will need, hopefully. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and grab those beehives and I'll see you once I have. Okay? I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we are now back from our little journey, and boy, it was actually, well, it wasn't a very little journey at all. The little forest that we went to get all the bee nests from didn't actually have any bee nests. In fact, I think we only got 2, but we did travel another 1 or 2,000 blocks a bit further that way in that direction, and we came across a nice cherry biome, which gave us all of these bee nests here. As you guys can see, we have a total of 13, I believe. Was that 8? 4? Yep. But 13. This one here alone is because it doesn't have any bees inside of it. Whereas these ones here, I do believe they have 1 or 2. Maybe some have 3. But I'm pretty sure because they don't stack, means that there are entities inside of it. So that's really good. But now it means that we can go ahead and start making our little farm to get the honey blocks. But in terms of where we're going to do that, I know there are a lot of different methods and also a lot of different tutorials online. I have seen quite a few of them. And it all really comes down to, I think, 3 methods. To either do it in the nether or also the end dimension, because there is no day cycle. But because I'm going to be here for quite a while, because I still need to collect a little bit of materials, just sort these things out here, I think the best method is to make it right here. So I think we might just put it just over here, just behind the mud making machine. And I do have some of the stuff that we might need. Where is it? Right here. So I have prepped all these things already. Not too sure if we'll need all of it, but it should be enough. If we don't have all the materials in this little shulker box, we can always go ahead and get more. So let's go ahead and start making it. I am totally going to wing this because I think maybe that'll be the best thing to do. I think we need to put some hoppers down first. Where's my chest? Perfect. So this is going to be a bit of a playthrough, I guess, of just me making this farm. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be doing it correctly, but we can always have a go. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that was 10. And we'll put that down there. And I think this is where the beehives will go. Correct? I hope so. And let me see. We put some temporary blocks up like this. Looks good. Let's just pretend that these are the beehives, and we will need to put all of the dispensers, I think, facing downwards, which is going to be holding all of the shears inside of it. Let's go ahead and do that. Perfect. Perfect. And we will need some comparators on the back, reading out the signals, and some redstone dust, I believe that follows. Not too sure if that's correct. Let's have a look. 1, 2, oh. Perfect. And I do see some using 2 lines of redstone. Let's see if that will work out over here. That seems okay. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this honeycomb making machine. I'm sure you guys have seen heaps of them being made before, and you can also find some tutorials on YouTube. So I'm going to quickly get this done, and I'll get back to you guys once we have some honeycomb and also some other materials. Okay? I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, so it's been quite some time since the last clip, and I've gone ahead and gathered quite a lot of materials. And as you can see behind me, I've also started oxidizing some copper. We do need a lot of copper things, a lot of copper materials for this build today. So hopefully what you see behind me is enough. If not, I am cutting down some more and going to smelt a little bit more just in case. In addition to this, we also did go ahead and farm up some slimes. That did take a while. I needed around 4 stacks, I think. And even with a looting sword, it did take quite some time. We also extended the bee farm by another 3 beehives, and we also converted some of them to collect honey blocks, as we needed some of those for today's build as well. But other than that, oh yes, and I've also gone ahead and used the tree farm for quite a bit, collecting a bunch of logs that we'll need because we are going to tear down those 2 machines off to the side there so we can make our build. But other than that, you're all caught up, so let's go ahead and cut down the rest of this copper. And let's start today's build. Today's comment of the day goes to Spartan3457, and they say, I love your editing style and build design. Your builds feel realistic and lived in. I just finished my school semester, so I am glad to have a short series to watch on my down week. Well, Spartan, thank you so much for choosing my videos to watch on your down week. I hope this episode is much to your liking. And thank you for your comment. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, we have made a silo. One of the two silos that we're making today. This one, the shorter of the two, we'll make the next one just over there. And I think it'll be that much taller, not including a nice little build. Well, not little, but another big build that we'll have going over there. But I wanted to cut in on the process to show you guys what this silo looks like and also some details about it that we'll also translate over to the next silo. But as you guys can see, this is a silo design that I've gone for. Usually you would see streaks, I guess, also gradients that would go up and down, but I've gone for these ones. And that is because if you Google silos, you'll usually find pictures of these things with circle rings that go around them. And that's exactly what I've gone for. So we zoom in, you can see I've made these little rings that go around the silo. And along these rings, usually you see some rust. That's what I've done here. We've also added in some gradients with the usual blocks like stripped oak, stripped birch, also some sandstone and smooth sandstone. But this time I've added in a whole bunch of signs. I have really fallen in love with using signs because they're such a great tool in drawing the attention of the eye. For example, if we look at most of these blocks here, they either go up or down. In fact, they all go up or down. This bone block right here, you can see the little pattern always directs your eye upwards. So in order to make this ring more convincing and also to add the gradient across, you can see I've used some signs because the pattern goes towards the sides. It goes either left or right. So when you look at it from afar, it draws your attention from left to right. And also you can mix in different types of colors of signs on different wood. Kind of makes it more of a blend from one color to another. So that's what I've been using quite a lot for this build, and I think it's turned out great. This is probably one of my favorite builds so far. Well, not yet because we've only done one, but so far it's turning out great. So let's get a closer look at the rest of the details. As you can see, we've also added in some levers and some fence posts, almost like pipes that come on through as well. We've added it over there and also through here as well. So just something to add a little bit more pizzazz to the build. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit too flat. And also over here, we got this little I guess this would be the entrance for this particular build. I like how it came out, especially with this over here. Usually you see some of these handrails that go up silos and other towers, such things. So I wanted to add that little detail, and you can't really get that if you don't put a trapdoor on it. For example, if I get rid of that, you can see it kind of cuts it off short. So once we put it down, it extends it into a full block, which gives it that nice little look. But if we go inside, you can go all the way to the top. But I haven't done an interior for this yet. Actually, there won't be an interior at all because we are going to hide, like I said, a bone meal machine inside of it. So that's what these things here are for. And we're going to make a second one, like I said, just right next to it, just over there. But over here, we have another entrance and we can click this to go inside. We have no button inside anyway, so I'm going to go inside. There's nothing in there, as you guys already seen. But yes, this is a nice little silo that I have made today. Oh, some scaffolding. Nothing too crazy as well. In the back, we have almost like a pipe that has been disconnected or just not in use anymore. Just some windows it's just a nice little detail. And at the very top, you can see that I have started to add some detail onto the roof as well. So it's not all just deep slate. We got some other little bits and bobs in there as well, because this is such a tall building, much like the library in the background. Because it's so high up in the air, it catches a lot more of the sun, the moisture, and therefore now it's starting to turn green. And lastly, at the very top, I've made this wind catcher thing. Not too sure what it's called, but basically what it does is it tells you if there is wind in any direction, and also spins to indicate how fast the wind is or how strong the wind is around a certain area. I thought that was a nice little detail to add on top of this roof, because again, it is so high up. Overall, I am chuffed with the way it has turned out. I can't wait to add in the second one. If you guys also pay attention, I did try to make a bit of a gradient from light to dark. As you can see, we got some dark to light through there again. The signs drawing your eyes from right to left or left to right, depending on which way you used it. However, I did forget to take into consideration the way the sun kind of goes over, starts over there and heads down over there. But I have set the gradient almost the dark to light in the wrong direction. In fact, I think it's yep, dark over here and light over there. So technically this build would be better facing that way. Therefore, it would make more sense, but well, what can you do? This is where I wanted to place it and I totally forgot about it. But that's okay. We have we can roll with that. That's okay. I'm sure no one can really tell. Maybe you guys can now that I've pointed it out, but that doesn't matter too much because we're going to go ahead and finish the rest of the build. We still got a whole bunch of blocks to put down. This over here, this section right here, is all for the 2 silos, whereas this one is for the next build. And as you guys can see, yeah, we still have a whole bunch of blocks to put down. And also, we still need to make the Bonemeal farm inside of this. And also, speaking of, the Bonemeal farm that I'll be using today is in the comment section down below. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check it out. I will not be really looking at the Bonemeal farm just because you can find it on YouTube, but we will have a glaze over it. But yes, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the next silo, and we can see how it looks together before we finish the last build and therefore finish today's episode. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in just a bit, okay? And also guys, I want to say thank you very much if you have made it to this far in the video. It really means a lot to me that you guys are watching my videos, and I cannot thank you enough. But enough of that. Let's go finish this off. Okay guys, we are now done with the second silo, and together I think they look pretty cool, especially with the sun rising from the back of here and shining all over it. Yes, it is now done, and both these silos are now completely fitted with a Bonemeal farm, and they are both very functional. If we turn them on, they will start going and they'll start spitting out Bonemeal, and it'll be coming out of that little pipe over there. And as you can see right now, we do have a bit of a leakage. We still need to add one more building just over here, but we'll do that in just a bit, because for now, let's just have a look at what I have done for this second silo. Not too much different from the first. We have the same patterns, we have the same little designs with the signs over there as we do over here, and also with the same patterns of the color differences, the stains and whatnot, and also the rings that go around the silos as well, along with these little pipe things that we've made with the levers and also the oak fences, I think. Jungle, actually. Jungle fences over there. But the only differences that we do have over here, because it is so tall, is that we are able to add little things that kind of pop out. Now, they are all facades, such that they don't actually work except for just that little entrance over there. But we have made this little thing over here, just a little ladder system that you can get up to. Consider it an alternative entrance. And also we have this balcony over here as well, that I guess you could come out of and have a look at the world in front of you. A nice little thing over there. And towards the sides over here, besides this little pipe over here that will be giving us all the bone meal, we have this little, I would say, water boiler or water heater. Not too sure what that is, but I just thought this would be a cool little addition onto this silo. Not sure what it would do for an actual silo, but just a cool little design with some blast furnace and also some polished deep slate. And on the back, we have something you've already seen before, and that is just another little entrance to get up and down of the silo. Something that we have just taken from this one over here and just added it on to the back as well. And as you guys can see, we got a little bridge over here just connecting these two, but there is no door on either side. Just a facade again, but this one over here, not a facade. This is where we'll have all of the bone meal travel across from this small one into this big one. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's have a look at the inside and let's have a look at the farm that we have made today. Now, I've already mentioned the farm that we have done will be listed in the description down below. So if you guys are curious as to what farm I am using, please have a look in the description. It is quite a cool farm, such that it is so compact and it also is tileable both across and also, as you can see, the way I've used it, it is also tileable upwards, and it does make a lot of bone meal. In fact, once we get this thing going, we won't be needing bone meal for quite a while after one AFK session. But this farm is going to be an absolute treat, and we will never run out of bone meal ever again. But I think that is all for this build so far. We are going to go ahead and get started with the next build, the final part of this build that will be connected to this little pipe over here. And then once we do, we can go ahead and we can finally retire that farm over there. And then we'll have a nice little run through of the rest of the build and how it all looks together. And then we'll call it a day, guys. What do you think about that? Sounds not too bad. Okay, guys, I'll get started now. And I'll see you in just a short while, okay? I'll see you guys soon. The second comment of the day goes to Machine, or Magin. I apologize if I said your name wrong. But they say, this series has become their new comfort let's play. They rewatch the videos pretty regularly, both for inspiration and just to enjoy that spirit of Minecraft. Loving the good work. Thank you, Machine, for your comment. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that my videos can inspire you in Minecraft. Thank you so much for your comment. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are now done with today's build, and I think it looks fantastic with all three of these buildings put together, the way it kind of flows into each other, and also the way the height goes up and down and up. I think it all has come out amazingly. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And whilst you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and have a little look through of the last little bit that we have built here. As you guys can see, overall, we've gone ahead with the same color scheme. Not color scheme, but more so the way we are shading this building. We have gone from dark to light. As you can see, dark to light over there, and also within the building itself. The only difference with the shading is from this little area over here, this little section, this staircase. You can see we've got a little darker bit at the bottom, and as we transition to the top, it gets lighter and lighter, because I guess you could think of it as the sun reflecting on it right over here at the very top. So it would be lighter right around there as it would be compared to down over here. So we've kept things nice and dark as we can with this little color scheme over here. So we do have some oak planks and also some stripped oak logs over there that transition up into sandstone and smooth sandstone. Otherwise, with this main building, we have a nice gray little contrast of colors. We've got, what is that? Tough. We've got acacia, and we've also got some gray concrete and some gray wall. And that just works our way up to the very top. And I've gone ahead and added these little kind of stains that have come on through. You can see it's a little bit darker where the windows are, just because I can think of that as like weathering or some rust that just kind of leak through. Up close, it might look a little bit weird, but if we stand back, you can see the effect that it has on the building. We also have some on the ledges as well. And if we look up to the very top again, you can see little honeycombs that I've used over here. That's right, we got all of these bees just so we can add a little bit of honeycomb into the roof. But I think with the way it's turned out, it was very, very much worth it. I don't think I could find a different block to replace that. Nope, I don't think so. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's have a little look around the back as well. Nothing too crazy. This kind of building style you've already seen me use. In fact, we have used it before on the stables right there. The stripped oak, sorry, the strip spruce, the oak, the planks, pretty much just copied over here as well. But the really cool thing I like in the back of here is the staircase that I've done. So again, we've gone for the dark to light kind of theme, but we've changed it up here again. As you can see, we've got the light at the very top. The middle is going to be the oak, and also the bottom is going to be the spruce, which makes sense because the sun is going to be shining from above down. So you would have the bottom bits under the staircase a little bit more darker than you would the very top. So that's why we have the birch at the very top with the trapdoors and also the stairs over there. That's pretty much one of the details, well, one of the most important details in the back over here to mention. Otherwise, we do have another water heater, I guess, in the back. I figured we got one there. Why not add another one? But other than that, nothing too crazy. We got some signs over here. We got a little window over there as well, but nothing too much to speak on over there. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's head inside before we go upstairs and check out the rest of the building. So inside of this factory, this would be considered the storage room. As you guys can see, we got a whole bunch of chests and barrels everywhere. We also got some bone blocks just sitting around, just like they're being stored as overflow. We've got some over here, some campfires as well. We also have a stone cutter, almost as if we're going to cut some bones. But other than that, we have the main storage over here. This, as you can see, is where we are keeping all the bone blocks. This is not what we have made. This is actually just from transferring all the bone blocks from that old original Bonemeal farm machine into this one. But yes, it's made quite a lot so far. And if I do turn it on, we can actually go ahead and see how all of this works. So I flick this lever. A lot of things are going to start happening, but mainly what's going to happen is that it's going to turn on the two silos and it's going to start making bone meal. And once it starts making bone meal, it's going to spit it out into the pipes. It's going to travel up and then across into the big main building, where we'll start turning those into some bone blocks. How it does that is that it just travels around and across these hoppers, passing over some item filters. That's right, we do have item filters because sometimes wheat and other such things like moss carpets and azalea, they kind of filter their way through and it does clog up the system. So once the bone meal passes over that, it heads into these two crafters and then it gets converted into bone blocks. But for now, let's go ahead and let's turn it off. We don't want to lag the world too much, especially when we're giving a tool at the moment. But nothing else in the storeroom other than the on-off switch and some bits and bobs just to make it look more and feel more like a storage room. So that being said, let's go ahead and let's head to the top and let's see the actual machine up close. And in addition, also see the room that it's in and see how I've gone ahead and decorated it. But in this room, as you can see, couldn't really decorate it too much, not with a lot of things because it is quite narrow and we did have to fit the machine very top with everything like the iron filters and the little gizmos and all that such. But we have a whole bunch of paintings, and as you guys can see, we do have this nice big 4x4 space over here, and that is because we are going to immortalize the original Bonemeal farm. As you guys can see, we've got it right there. We're going to demolish it because we are trying to clear out this whole space to make it look nice and pretty, but we can't go ahead and do that without immortalizing the original Bonemeal farm. So in my inventory, we have this painting right here, and if I can put it down properly and first try, there it is, guys. We have our first original Bonemeal farm. That's right, I made a custom resource painting pack just so we can have this guy immortalized. Look at that bad boy. We have it always there and it'll never go anywhere. It'll always remind us of what we started from and how we have got here. And I think that looks fantastic, but nothing else in this room to add. If we go through some of these doors, this is where we came from. If we go through this door, this will take us to the staircase that we saw before, and this leads us into the little office area. You can consider this place to be where the big boss lives and where he works out of. We got some pillagers in the back somewhere over there, so we can bring them in and make one of them the boss, and I think that would be a great idea because pillagers are very mean and sometimes bosses can be very mean as well. But moving on, if we head through this door, we come to a balcony that you can see into the boss's office, which I'm not too sure if that's a good idea, if that makes any sense, but it's here nonetheless, so we're just going to keep it. But with that being said, guys, we are now done with the tour, which means we are now done with today's episode. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode and that you enjoyed the build. I really loved making this build, and I'm sorry that it did take a long time for this video to come out. It did take quite a while for me to design and also to make and also to gather the things as well. But I think it was worth it, and I hope you guys think so too. So as the sun sets, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys, and I'm going to see you in the next episode. And as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, please let me know by liking and or subscribing, sharing this video, or maybe just commenting down below what your favorite part of today's episode was. And I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, bye.